Hello and welcome to another episode of Rob's Ramblings here on the Bucks and Six channel. Today at the Brown Table of Sports Card Collecting, I've got kind of a accumulation of stuff that I've gotten over the last week or so that I want to show and put out there for on my channel so I can put it away into my collection. And I'm going to apologize right off the bat that I've got myself a little bit of a cold, so I may be coughing and sniveling, and my voice may not be the strongest today. But we're going to push through and try to get through all the stuff I need to get through today. I don't have a particular order that I'm going to go in, so I'll just grab the first thing I want to show is I received a package in the mail, actually just an envelope in the mail from a new friend on YouTube, Jeff from A Fine Collector. He and I had connected about our Mag Pro flips and our labels, and we organized an exchange of flips. So I got this letter from Jeff. Jeff, I hope you don't mind I'm putting it on air here. It says, Rob, I'm glad you reached out and was open to trading labels. I sent a few cards along with my label for two reasons. First of all, he told me that we were just exchanging labels. We were not exchanging cards. So, of course, I sent him my label with nothing else, and then he sent me cards. I'll show those. But he had some reasons. He said he wanted to protect his label during shipping, and I believe this totally, since he's a Chicago fan, he needed an excuse to get rid of some Milwaukee items from his collection. So, looking forward to talking more this year, Jeff, A Fine Card Collector. So, Jeff, thank you for exchanging labels with me. I thought that was pretty cool. Hope you enjoy my label. Hopefully it gets to you. I'm pretty sure it did. I know we sent them out on the same day. So anyways, Jeff sent a few cards along with his label. Like he said, he sent some Brewer cards. I love the 1984 Topps design. Love all three of the Topps of the 84 designs, the Donruss, the Fleer, and the Topps. All three companies, I think, did a really great job. But this is actually an O-Pee-Chee card, but it follows the same design as the Topps. So this is a cool card. I actually don't have this one in O-Pee-Chee form. So same thing with the next one is a Robin Yount. It's a 84. Again, it's an O-Pee-Chee card. And again, I do not have this O-Pee-Chee version, so it's pretty cool. I've got the Topps version, and I'm glad to add this to it. Another Brewer card that you sent was Ryan Braun. This is his rookie card, a Bowman rookie card. I don't have a ton of Ryan Braun in my collection, although I do collect him to a certain degree. And then a basketball card. This is the Topps, or this is kind of an acetate card of Vin Baker. Not super familiar with it, but it looks cool, and I always love to add Milwaukee cards to my collection, so appreciate you sending that along. And then what I did with your flip, Jeff, is this is his label. This is a Fine Card Collector label flip for the Mag Pros. I found a perfect card to display with that flip. I found this Ernie Banks 1961, and this was in just top loader land in my collection. And now with this new label, I thought it was perfect to upgrade it to Slab City. So it is now slabbed up in this Mag Pro slab with the perfect label to go with it. So that card is now upgraded officially in my collection from One Touchdown up to Slab City, and I'll be happy to display that, and I'll remember Jeff whenever I see it because of the flip, and that's a cool looking label. So anyways, that's the first little nugget I wanted to share on the episode today. Thank you, Jeff, for that exchange of flips. The next thing I want to talk about is recently on YouTube, I've been seeing more and more on a lot of different channels, people talking about holograph cards or hologram cards. And so I picked up one. I believe I saw this one on Dylan's channel, I believe, is where I saw this one. But this is a Hank Aaron. It's kind of hard to get it perfect in the light so you can see it, but you can see where as the light hits it, you get that 3D effect. And this was from Upper Deck Heroes of Baseball. Basically, I think that's what it's called down there. So yeah, Heroes. And this is from 1991, I believe. So Dylan was showing these, and a lot of people recently have been showing these cards on their channels. So I decided to jump on board, and I can't ever resist a Hank Aaron card. And this is really, really a cool looking card. People in the background shine just as much as Hank does. So anyway, wanted to show that one off. I don't know if that's gonna show off very well on camera, but maybe we'll put it up there. It doesn't really show too good unless the light's hitting it perfectly. But that's the next one I wanted to show. And the rest of what I have kind of is tied to yesterday I went to a card show with my Aunt Lori, and when we met at the card show, she greeted me in the parking lot with a couple of gifts. So I want to show those. The first one is William Contreras Ray Wave parallel card of Topps Chrome. And it's a great action shot. I know I've talked about it on my channel before, that I'm a big fan of photographs of catchers in action, and this is a perfect example of that. I've got a little mini collection of vintage cards with those types of photographs. But William Contreras, being a star for my Brewers, I really enjoy that card. Thank you, Lori. And then the other card Lori gave me was this, just a classic piece of baseball history, really, that happened this fall. This is a Topps Now card commemorating Shohei Ohtani's fantastic achievement of pitching in Game 4 of the NLCS against my Brewers. Of course, the Dodgers swept the Brewers, and this was Game 4 where Shohei struck out 10 players while pitching, and he also hit 3 home runs while batting, and that is just remarkable. So even though it happened against my Brewers, I do appreciate the incredible athletic achievement. And on the back, of course, it just kind of describes that scenario, what he did. And yeah, this is a pretty cool card, pitching and hitting of Shohei. So thank you, Lori, for those 2 cards. I really appreciate that. Then we went into the card show, and I started looking around for whatever. I had no real list that I was looking for. I enjoy going to card shows because of the fact that I don't know what I'm going to find, and I usually end up walking out the door with something pretty cool. And even if I don't, I just enjoy being in that environment, being around people that are in the hobby. So right off the bat, I went and did my entire search of the room and found a few things that I was thinking about buying. I had a certain budget that I couldn't go over, so I don't want to spend any money until I see what is all there to buy. And while I was doing that, I always wear clothes or hats or something that depict the logos of the teams that I cheer for. And yesterday I just happened to be wearing a Vancouver Canucks hat, because that's my hockey team. And there is a guy in the corner of the show that saw my Canucks hat, and he kind of engaged with me and started talking to me about hockey. And he had a bunch of stuff in his van out in the parking lot that he didn't bring in, but when he saw my Canucks hat, he was immediately drawn to me, and he wanted to go show me what he had. So this is what happens in these small town shows. Everyone's just so friendly and just trusting, and he asked me if I would just stand and man his table for a while he went out to his car to go get the binder that he wanted to show me that had Canucks cards in it. So I agreed to it. I just stood at his table and manned his booth while he was gone. He was gone for maybe 5 minutes, and he came back, and he was really excited to show me this binder. And so I flipped through his binder, and because we had gone through all this, I kind of wanted to buy something and just, give him a token of appreciation for everything he had been doing. And so I grabbed a few cards out of there. These are just $1 a piece, so just to make him happy, and just to kind of cap off our little interaction. This is a Pavel Bure rookie report from Upper Deck. Love Pavel Bure, and I just love those old school jerseys. Now, all of these I think are Pavel Bure cards. This is another one of those hologram cards that It's got the kind of the shimmering look in the background. You got the up close picture, and then in the background, the action shot that kind of shimmers. I've got this other one. This is another rookie. This is from Pro Set of Pavel Bure. Again, showcasing that logo real nicely. I always like the Pro Set hockey cards. Nothing real super fancy about them, but I just like the way they look. And then also the Fleer Ultra. I don't know that I'd ever seen this one, but I like this one too because it's showcasing that cool logo, and the Fleer Ultra photography is just really clean and really nice. Love that picture of him. So I snagged these 4 cards and had a real pleasant interaction with that vendor. And I know that when that show comes back around to town, I'll be checking out his booth again. And then I did find he had other binders there of vintage baseball. And I was looking through those binders, and as I flipped through those binders, I found that in one of those binders, there was some vintage hockey cards. And I found this one that I just could not resist. I love this kind of a look. And I've shown baseball cards lit like this, where it's a full bleed picture with nothing on it other than the facsimile autograph. I kind of like that. There's nothing just cluttering up the image. It's just a picture of Guy Lafleur. And this is, I believe, from 1976. If you can get that in focus. Yeah, it's 1976. From the Topps Chewing Gum Company. It's number 11 out of 22. This must have been some sort of an insert set. I'm not familiar with it, and I'll have to do some research to find out more about this set. But when I saw this card, I knew, yeah, that's one I want to definitely add to my collection. So snagged that and did some more business with that vendor who really treated me well, and hit it off with that guy real nicely. All right, so then there were a few other cards. I still had some money jingling in my pocket. I hadn't spent everything that I wanted to spend. And so I had a few things I was considering. But in the end, I made a choice on a different, off the beaten path kind of a card, because it just was the one that was speaking to me the most. And yesterday, 24 hours ago, I was in a little different frame of mind about my Green Bay Packers. I was excited about the possibility that they might take down the Bears last night, but that did not happen. They got off to a good start, but the Bears ended up taking them down in the end. But I have this card in my collection. I didn't buy this one yesterday, but this is a card that I have always loved. It's a Leroy Butler autograph card from Panini, and I sent it in to get graded, and it came back as a 10, so I'm just really happy. Love this card. Leroy Butler won the Super Bowl with the Packers. I was with the Brett Favre team, and I have that card. And there was a card at the show yesterday that just was reminiscent of this one, but much different, from a different Packer team that also won the Super Bowl. Several years later, Aaron Rodgers took the Packers to the Super Bowl and got another Super Bowl victory. And the card that I ended up buying yesterday is too big for me to show on the table here. So I'm going to have to kind of veer my camera up so you can see what it is, because I've already got it on display here. And there it is. It is a Charles Woodson Emanate card. That is on-card autograph. I'll try to get in there close so you can see it. And that's a green parallel, and you can't see it on the front, but it is numbered out of 99 on the back. So there's only 99 of these cards in existence, and I've got one of them. And just for comparison, I see if I can hold up the other card next to it so you can see the size difference. But yeah, that card, I just fell in love with it. And there were some other cards at the show that I was thinking about buying, some Shohei items, but this Charles Woodson, he's a Super Bowl champion for the Packers and a Hall of Famer, and I just couldn't let this one go without snagging it. So I did talk to this vendor too. The vendors at these shows are so great. And he had this priced, it was pretty pricey for me anyways, and he was open to negotiating, and I negotiated $30 off of his asking price. So hopefully I don't know if I got a good deal or if I got taken, but anyways, I love having it in my collection regardless of what I paid for it. So anyways, that's my episode for today. Hope you enjoyed it. So until next time, enjoy the hobby and stay true to yourself.